Wishing a good day to all my friends. Welcome. Today you are joining us with the 70th design of our website design course. Let's start. First, click on the plus mark at the top corner of the screen and open a new tab. Next, type glitch.com in the address bar and click the enter button. Now you have entered the Glitch website. Now click on the plus mark on the screen again. Open another tab and visit dpcode.lk website. Click on lesson number 251. Click on the Start Project button. Now we have entered the project. Let's make this page editable by clicking the Remix button on the top right side. When you click on the preview below and open Preview pane, you can see the preview on the right side of the window. First, change the name of the project according to today's lesson. Go to the panel on the left and click Settings. Now I click Edit Project Details and type 70th Lesson DP Code where it says project name. Now click on the Save button. You can see that the changed project name is displayed on the left side. In today's lesson, let's learn how to update a database using JavaScript and API. For that, today we will create a task management app. Open the HTML file first. Look, I already created the HTML codes that I need to create the task management app. Added styles to the page and linked the script file. I have added a background image and along with a heading called Task Manager. I have created some input fields with labels as task name, subject, date, and description. When I started the lesson, I told my friends that today we will make an app that will allow us to update or make changes to the data we have already stored in a database. So, you can see that I have added a Save Changes button to the page with an on-click event to enter new data in these input fields and update them into the database. Also, I have created a message called Task Update Successfully and created the page with a new division to open the updated task list by editing below the form. Open the preview on the page below. You can see that the task name and the subject can be filled in the input fields, and I have created a data type input so that the date can be selected from the calendar. Also, I have created a separate text area to enter the description. Good. Now let's go and create our Airtable. As usual, open a new tab and search for https://www.airtable.com and open the Airtable website. Now create a new workplace called Task Manager from here and create a base and save it. Now we can see a new table open. I will rename this table as Task Management. Okay. Now let's edit the fields. Rename the first column as ID and select formula from the field type below and give record_ID bracket in the box. Rename the second column as name and name 3 rows downwards as task 1, task 2 and task 3. Rename the third column as subject and create 3 rows below as English, Science, Mathematics and rename the fourth column as date and give the field type as date and add some dates. Click the plus mark on the right side and create another new column and rename it as describe. Give long text select to the field type and type 3 example descriptions in row 3. Okay, now we have finished adding data to the table. Now go to the account icon above and go to Developer Hub in the API and click on the Airtable API at the end of the first line and go down and select the base called Task Manager and copy the corresponding authentication URL. Now open the code page again and come to the JS file. Use const airtable_endpoint and paste the link you have copied inside the quotation marks. Next, initialize an empty string called updated and come to the 8th line and create the functions required to edit the task. Create a function called edit and give a parameter called ID to represent the records. Now come to the 11th row and type fetch bracket $, curly bracket airtable_endpoints /$ curly bracket update ID and put a comma, and once again inside curly brackets, use the get method and send a request to the Airtable. Here, for the authorization key, go to Airtable and click Account on the right side. Select Go to Developer Hub below. Copy and paste it from API key. OK. Next, use the then function and assign the response to JSON. Now, in the 90th line, type .then bracket, data equal greater than, and open curly brackets, and use the document.getElementById method to create the values of the HTML elements according to Airtable response. Set up the fields created in the Airtable as name, subject, date, describe related to the IDs, name1, subject1, mydate1, and description1 respectively. Well, now come to the 20th line, and the message that we created earlier in the HTML code as task updated successfully should be hidden as display none by using that ID. Next, in line 32, create a function called refresh task list to refresh the task list, and use the fetch method to make a get request to the Airtable. For that, use the then function, create a variable called taskListDiv from line 42 and store the task list. At the bottom, give taskList listdiv.innerHTML equal and add an empty string and clear the existing content. OK. Next, in line 45, create an if statement to check if a data record has come from the API. If there is any record, create a for each loop in the 46th line to interact with it. Open the curly brackets, and inside it, create a HTML element called div to represent each record. Assign a variable called taskRow. Next, create a task list inside a div tag by giving taskRow.innerHTML equal. Open a span tag and type id : curly bracket u.fields.id and close the tag and put a line break. Add the other elements like name, description, subject, date, and their fields below. After that, open a button tag and create a button called edit with an on-click event. Here, my friends, as ID I have given the ID that will be updated. OK. Now close the div tag and add a horizontal line. At the bottom, add a semicolon and add a child element called taskListDiv.appendChild bracket taskRow. Next, create a function called update to update the record in the Airtable after clicking the Save Changes button. Inside the curly brackets, create some new variables called task name, task subject, task date, task description for the updated elements, and assign the value of the ID created in the HTML as name1, subject1, mydate1, description1 respectively. Now, in the 73rd line, create another variable called const updated task and assign the fields of the Airtable in relation to the previously created variables. Next, the updated task records need to get updated in the Airtable. As before, use the Airtable endpoint and update ID variables with the fetch function and create the necessary steps to send a request using the retch method that will update the record like this. Close the curly brackets, and in line 89, convert the updated task object to the JSON string by using body colon json.stringify within brackets updated task. After that, use the then function and get the response from the API and refresh the data in the task list by typing refresh task list empty bracket semicolon. Below, the successful message created in the HTML code should be displayed in block letters and the update function is completed. When the task is updated to hide the successful message, we use the same HTML element with the message ID in the 100th line and set it as display none. Next, I use an event listener in a new line as document.getElementById bracket save changes btn dot add event listener bracket click comma update close brackets and put a semicolon to run the update function after clicking the save changes button. As the last step, in line 106, create the function called refresh task list empty bracket semicolon to load the new task list. Friends, we have completed our task management. Let's use Open Preview in a new window in the preview below and open the page in a new tab. Here I will give the task name and the subject as Task 1, English respectively, and select a date randomly and type "This is my new task" as the description. Now let's click on the Save Changes button. Friends, you can see that the task list has opened below and the previous description, "This is my first task," has changed. Let's open the Airtable. The description of the first task has also been updated. Well, this is the way to display a previously created database and edit the data in a database and display the updated record again. Okay friends, so today's lesson is over now. WhatsApp your design to me on the phone number 076 812 5244. Tell your friends about the design. Check out this app to send to me as well as to your friends. And one more thing, join the DP Coding School Telegram group. Try to be the DP Code Champ Best of the Week every week. Stay connected with us. And one more thing, join our DP Coding Club. And now you can start a DP Coding Club in your school. We are ready to give all the guidance for that. If you are interested in starting DP Coding Clubs in any school that has computer labs, please send a request to the principal to the email address info@dpcc.lk. Okay, let's meet again with another interesting lesson through DP Coding School. Have a good day.